Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you are not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Wednesday, March 22nd, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce the number 5 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So let's jump into the spirit animal energy associated with the day. We have the earthworm. I feel like the earthworm is so fitting because the path of the day is the number 5. Which deals with sudden and unexpected changes. But with the earthworm being the spirit guide, to me, the earthworm talks about grounding ourselves. The earthworm talks about being, stability and grounding. And when I think of, say, earth, I think of practicality when it comes to, say, like sudden and unexpected changes. It's like anchoring. It's like an anchoring energy, and that being necessary. With the earthworm energy. And with the earthworm energy, I always look at, say, how a part of the earthworm's body is chopped off, but then something new grows. So this brings me to, say, a level of release that's necessary when it comes to, say, us grounding ourselves, when it comes to certain things, meaning sometimes we have to release parts of our old self that is still lingering, that's not in alignment with what it is that we're trying to create, with what it is that we're trying to manifest, with what it is that we're trying to make happen for ourselves. Today is the 22nd. The number 22 is the master builder energy. The number 2 energy, it's sensitive, it is emotional, it is feminine energy, but it is amplified because there's 2 twos there. And this is where we see the building energy come in. And when I think of the master building energy, I think of, say, the toxic side of the master building energy. And this is within all of us, where we are so focused on everyone and everything outside of ourselves, where we don't take care of ourselves. Is like this is where we could find ourselves overdoing it when it comes to, say, service to others, when it comes to helping others. And sometimes I find that this could be fear of being alone. So we overextend ourselves, we overdo it, we overgive, we over nurture, and we don't take care of ourselves first. And to me, that's dangerous and toxic in the sense that if we're not whole, then everything that we're doing is half-assed. Everything that we're giving is half-assed. I think of the importance of fully taking care of ourselves so we can show up with that light that can guide and support other people because they can sense the light within us. I think of people who put themselves in certain situations where they're working with people in need, but they've never took the time to do the work to heal themselves. So instead of helping, they actually hurt the people in need because they themselves have some things that needs to be worked out, that needs to be worked on. So in the process of going out and helping and being of service, it is just creating like negative energy because the people who's coming into contact with this person, it's like they're meeting that frequency, and it's either they, stand in themselves and don't allow it to influence them in any way or consume them, or say others will be consumed by that frequency, where it's like you see people who help in a negative light because of that one person who showed up to help and wasn't really, instead of helping themselves and deflecting from the help they needed, they force that help out on others. And to me, that's the negative side of, say, that number 22 energy in the day, where we can find ourselves, you know, overdoing it, over giving, over helping, when really we need to stop and help ourselves. Because if we haven't fully helped ourselves, or we aren't dedicated to our journey of self-care, then everything we do is not as helpful or beneficial as it can be. Like, I think of, say, the person who will like become the therapist or the counselor and helping people with, say, addictions or different things, and they're dealing with people in a way where it feels like they're doing this. Where if they were dedicated to their own journey and working on addictions within themselves and different things within themselves, then it wouldn't be like this, because they would realize that every time they're interacting with their clients, they're interacting with a different aspect of themselves. There's more empathy, because it's like I'm dealing with myself when I was at this stage and I couldn't see what I see now. And it's like there's sympathy for that person, because I know what it feels like to be here. I know what it feels like to feel like there's no way out, or there's no way out. Like, I know what it feels like to be here. So because I know what it feels like to be here, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to be understanding, and I know exactly what to say. I know how to meet you in the dark and guide to the light, because I've been in the dark so many times and I've managed to get help to the light. So I know the path from the dark to the light is what I get when I think of this energy in a healthier way. But with the vibe, the day adding up to the number 5 vibe, the number 5 deals with sudden and unexpected changes. And with the number 22 master building energy, this is where we can find ourselves just going from one extreme to the next, because we're avoiding nurturing ourselves. We're avoiding focusing on what we really need. And Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is in Aries. And with Mercury in Aries, the mind is on the self. But even though the mind is on the self, to me, the mind is on the self in a way as far as winning, competition, being first, you know, entrepreneurial endeavors. It's that competitive masculine energy. So even though the mind is on the self, the mind is on the self, seeing itself in a certain light, but not reflecting on the vulnerable aspects of itself. Where vulnerability leads to innovation, when we're able to be honest and reflect on where we are and what our truth is and what we've been through and things like that, then we can start finding solutions to making things better. But if we completely disregard, you know, our self-care and disregard what we need, then we just create messes around us, like dumpster fires all around us, as we try to help others, but instead end up hurting because like we need help ourselves. And talking about help, Siri, which is an asteroid, retrogrades into Virgo. Siri talks about how we nurture ourselves and how we nurture others. So yeah, this whole nurturing talk coming up. Ceres in retrograde, so we're reflecting on our service to others. We're reflecting on our service to ourselves. More than anything, we're reflecting on, say, the foods that we're eating and our time management, and how we could better nurture ourselves through eating better foods, and how the foods that we eat will positively aspect our time. Where when I reflect in my life, I find that once one area of my life is good, every other area of my life benefits like a domino effect. It's like all I have to do is focus over here mostly. And for me, it's like my food, like what I'm eating. Like if I'm eating foods that are high vibrational, foods that nourish my body, foods that support my gut and my brain, then my energy is high, my mood is positive and euphoric, then I have the time to give into the different things in my life. My memory is clear, like everything else benefits when I just focus my attention on just one thing. So with Ceres retrograde into Virgo, we're going to be reflecting on how we nurture ourselves with the foods that we eat, the service that we give to others, and how we are spending our time. The tarot that shows up is the moon card, and the moon is in the reversal position. In the upright position is the moon card. Like, I think it's so interesting how the moon card, like this scene from the moon card, not the entire scene, shows up on the death card. But the moon card is in the reversal position. So with the moon card in the reversal position, this brings me to say, like, not in harmony or out of alignment when it comes to, say, our intuition, when it comes to our premonition, our inner world. Like, when I look at the energies in the day, I just get the feeling of somebody distracting themselves from their feelings, because with the 22 aspect of the day, maybe the emotions can hit really, really hard. And with the moon in Aries, like, the moon is in Aries, Mercury is in Aries. For me, whenever the moon is in Aries, I am super irritable, like, than normal. Like, I just feel like as the moon enter into Aries, like, if I wake up and the moon shift into Aries overnight, I wake up and with this feeling where it's so easy for me to like be more argumentative or combative. Like I just feel it so strong, where it's like the thought of a fight, like getting into a fight, it just feels like the answer, like being aggressive, like argumentative, combative. I don't know, I just feel it whenever the moon, I feel the moon when it goes into different places, but whenever it goes into Aries, I always feel this energy where it's like my patience level aren't as high as it normally is. Like, my patient level, that's what it is. But the moon card is in the reversal position, so this brings me to say dismissing what it is that we're feeling, dismissing what it is that we're feeling. And with the moon in Aries, we could find ourselves not wanting to feel and just wanting to act. So the mind and the moon is in a place where we could find ourselves being compulsive and just irrational is coming to mind, and erratic. And the moon also conjuncts Chiron. So this brings up, say, certain wounds that we are experiencing with the moon here, but we don't want to feel them. So instead of me acknowledging my wounds, let me go and fix someone else. Like, let me go and try to help someone else. And yes, I've heard that, if you feel horrible, go and help someone else. I feel like it depends on the help that you're giving. Because, like I said, I'll come across, say, certain people who are supposedly like helping, but they themselves, need to also dedicate to their help. Because we'll never be I don't believe we'll ever be perfect. And for me, like, perfection is not the gold pieces. But I find that, like, say, whenever, I find that when you're working with people, it's important to be dedicated to your path, dedicated to your healing, because the creator will only send people who are in alignment with your frequency, meaning they will have the same issue that you're working on or just found a solution to, is what I'm finding. The universe will send people that it has the same thing you're working on or have just found the solution to, because we're always mirroring each other in some way. But it's one thing when we attract people and we're supposed to be helping and they're mirroring us, but we can't see that we have the same issue as them. So we talk to them, in this way, but nothing we're saying they can hear, because we've yet to address that within ourselves, is what I'm getting with the energies here. But with the moon and Aries, of course, something about the energies in the day to me feels a bit irritable or even irritated. So when it comes to today, you want to pace yourself. And even when it comes to your communication, ask yourself, double check. Like, to me, when it comes to, say, today, I could see how text messages or just written messages could easily be misunderstood. So it might be more beneficial to pick up the phone and call someone to express something to express certain things, opposed to sending them in a message. Because in a message form, I could see how something can come off short or even aggressive or even dismissive with the moon and Mercury in Aries energy. And with the moon, again, conjunct Chiron, this brings up, say, wounds that we're dealing with when it comes to, say, ourselves, when it comes to our appearance, when it comes to our ambition, when it comes to how other people see us. So with these wounds coming up, the best thing I think to do is to surrender. This is where journaling comes in. Confess what it is that we're feeling. Like if we're experiencing jealousy or fear of, not achieving certain things or whatever, like journal, write about it. Because when we write it out, writing it out to me is almost like saying it out sometimes. And maybe you want to turn on your phone and record and say it out. Because sometimes when things come out of our mouth and we can hear how it sounds, it changes our perspective in some way. With the 5 aspects to the day, the day adding up to the number 5, you definitely want to be intentional, because you could easily find yourself going all over the place, going from one extreme to the next. But I feel like a big part of it will be to kind of escape oneself. It's like, I don't want to feel what I'm feeling, but not realizing that I'm trying to run from what it is that I'm feeling and really think that I'm curious about different things. But really it's like, I don't want to feel this pain. Or instead, pain is a bookmark that holds space for our transformation. And this is where we pull out the journal and just express ourselves, confess on paper, think on paper, release what it is that we're holding on to, come up with new solutions for ourselves, or even just get peace from that honest release. You guys, such a pleasure sharing this message with you as usual. If you like to book a reading or check out my exclusive content only on Patreon, the links are in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a blue heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.